I am not telling you any theory. I am telling you what I have lived, what I have known, and what I have seen happening within myself. Listen carefully, not to the words, but to the silence between them. You say that the words of others sting deeply. I say they do not sting. You are sitting there ready to be stung. This is the first formula. The other person does nothing to you. They only touch a hidden wound already inside you. If there were no wound, how could there be pain? But the mind is very clever. It shifts the responsibility outward. It says, he said this, therefore I am hurt. I say he spoke and you accepted it. This is the birth of suffering. I have seen people, if someone praises them, they bloom like flowers. If someone criticizes them, they wither. What are you, a flower or a mirror? A flower will be affected by every season. A mirror does not hold on to any weather. A mirror simply reflects and then becomes free. The person who is saddened by the words of others has not yet become a mirror. They are still a fragile, swaying flower. Let me tell you a story. A man came to me. There was pain in his eyes. He said, people look down on me. No matter what I do, they criticize me. I asked him, if from tomorrow no one says anything to you, would you become peaceful? He went quiet. Because the truth is, your noise is not outside. People are merely an excuse. The first step to being free from the words of others is to see why you are reacting. Pay attention. 10 people hear the same thing, but only one is heard. Why? Because that specific word touches a belief inside them. If someone says, you are useless, and inside you already believe I am useless, then that sentence becomes an arrow. But if there is clarity within that I am who I am, then that same sentence will pass by like a mere breeze. I am giving you this formula. Do not just write it down, live it. Whatever makes you sad is about you, not about the speaker. This is why the wise cannot be insulted. They can be cursed, but they cannot be hurt. A curse is a word, being hurt is an acceptance, you ask. But what will society say? I ask. Who is society? A collection of dead ideas. Some frightened people. And those who could not live their own lives and now do not want you to live yours either. Do you want to live in their prison? I tell you something deeper. When you are highly influenced by others' words, it means you are still begging for validation. You want someone to say you are right, you are good, you are special. But as long as this hunger exists, anyone can enslave you. He who gives you praise binds you. He who gives you condemnation also binds you. Free is the one who is bound by neither. Freedom means being established in your own center. When you are in your center, external things remain external. Like clouds that come in the sky, thunder, and pass away, the sky remains untouched. You become the sky. Let the words be the clouds. Now I will take you deeper. In the first part you saw that others' words do not torment you. Your own interior does. Now the question is, why is this interior so unstable? I say it is because you do not know yourself, and he who does not know himself always lives on the definitions of others. Today someone says you are wise and you become happy. Tomorrow someone says you are a fool and you break down. It is clear that you have no experience of your own being. You are living on a borrowed identity. Look, when you are thirsty and someone tells you that you are not thirsty, will you believe them? No, because the experience of thirst is your own. But when someone says you are unworthy, you believe it. Why? Because you do not have the experience of your own existence. The second formula for being free from the words of others is taste your own being. But the mind says, how will this happen? The mind always asks for a method. But life does not change through methods. It changes through awakening. I give you an illustration. A man used to come to me every day. He was very unhappy. He said people made fun of him. One day I told him, do nothing today, just listen. He asked, what should I listen to? I said, when someone says something about you, watch what happens inside you. After a few days he returned. For the first time there was peace in his eyes. He said, I saw that the pain does not come from the word, the pain comes from the race in which I want to prove myself. Just seeing this is meditation. Meditation does not mean closing your eyes. Meditation means seeing the reaction running within. As soon as you see it, the reaction weakens. And the day you see it completely, the reaction dies. You ask, but people speak wrongly too. I say, the world is full of mistakes. Will you fight every stone? If a blind man starts showing you the way, will you get angry or will you smile? The words of others are often the signals of the blind. Their truth is their own. Why do you need to carry it? Understand a very deep thing. The person who hurts you is himself in pain. A happy man does not cause injury. A person filled with love does not vomit poison. So when someone speaks bitterly about you, understand that he is only vomiting his own agony. Now tell me, is it wise to be angry at a sick person? But you say, it still affects me. Yes, because a child is still sitting inside who wants to be accepted. As long as this child cries inside, the world will keep shaking you. Listen to the third formula, give up the hunger for acceptance. The day you learn to say, I am enough as I am, no word will be able to bind you. This is not ego, this is self-acceptance. Ego says, I am superior. Self-acceptance says, I am. And remember, the day you become your own friend, the world will not be able to make you its enemy. Now I take you to where this entire disease begins. If you understand this part correctly, half of your liberation will happen. You are not saddened by others' words because they say something, but because you have been taught since childhood. What will people say? This is the poison. This sentence was slowly made a part of your nature. In childhood, you were told, good children don't do this, people will laugh, what will society think? You were scared, you were never taught, and the child learned, if I want love, I have to be according to others. This is where the soul breaks. I tell you clearly, you were not given values, you were given cages. And now, you are sitting in those cages talking about freedom. Look, when someone says something to you, that voice does not just come from outside. It becomes the voice of the mother, the father, the teacher, the society sitting inside you. That is why it has an effect. If a stranger insults you, it doesn't sting as much as a sentence from a loved one. Why? Because a judge is already sitting inside. The fourth formula to be free from others' words is recognize the judge within you. As long as he sits inside, the courts outside will keep running. I have told people, when someone says something to you, close your eyes and ask, has this voice really come from outside, or is it that same old voice sitting inside? As soon as you see this, the poison of the sentence drops away. Listen to a story. A monk meditated in the forest. People called him mad. Sometimes they even threw stones. One day someone asked, don't you feel bad? The monk laughed. He said, I used to. Then I saw it wasn't their words, but my own inner beliefs that caused pain. When the belief fell, the words became empty. You must understand this. There is no power in words. The power is in your consent. No one can make you small unless you are ready to be small yourself. But the mind is cunning. It says, if I don't care about people, I will become insensitive. This is an illusion. To stop caring is not to be insensitive. To stop caring is to protect the soul. A sensitive person does not catch every word. He only catches the essence. If someone explains with love, he listens. If someone is vomiting poison, he smiles and leaves it with the person. Understand another deep formula. The injury you feel always comes from that which you already believe to be true deep down. Therefore, meditate and see which words sting you the most. Your slavery is hidden right there. Now I bring you to the root which you never considered a root: comparison. As long as comparison is alive, others' words will keep shaking you. And the day comparison dies, the voices of others become silent on their own. Look, you are not sad because someone says something. You are sad because that word compares you with someone else. Someone says he is more successful than you, and something breaks inside. Why? Because you were taught that life is a race, and in a race, the other is always an enemy. Tell you life is a journey, not a competition. But society wants competition because it is easier to control a crowd through comparison. Since childhood, you were told, look how good he is. Learn from him. You are less than him. Slowly, you built a scale within yourself. Now, every word is weighed by that scale. This is why the words of others sting. The fifth formula for being free from others' words is drop the comparison. But the mind says, if I drop comparison, how will I move forward? This is a lie of the mind. Development never happens through comparison. Comparison only creates jealousy, fear, and inferiority. I have seen that he who compares is never satisfied. Someone gets ahead, someone falls behind, and you are always hanging in the middle. Listen to a story. One day a rose asked a thorn, why do you sting so much? The thorn said, because I wanted to be a rose. This is the sorrow: you want to be what you are not. When someone says something to you, look closely. Is that word taking you away from being yourself? If yes, understand that word is poison. I tell you a deep thing, there is no one else like you, and that is your beauty. The day this experience settles in, no comparison will be able to touch you. You say, but society will keep comparing. Yes, it will, because society is asleep. But the question is not what society does. The question is whether you are awake or not. When you wake up, the words of society just become noise. And only those who are asleep are afraid of noise. Awakened people stay calm even amidst the noise. The day you are happy with your own being, the opinions of others lose their meaning. Now I am going to tell you a very subtle thing. If this is understood, others' words won't leave you, you will leave them. You think, I have to drop ego. And sometimes you think, I am very inferior. I say ego and inferiority are not two, they are two forms of the same disease. He who considers himself very great also fears the words of others. He who considers himself very small also fears the words of others. The fear is the same in both. The egoistic person fears lest someone break his idol. The inferior person fears lest someone expose his weakness. Therefore both are slaves to others' opinions. The sixth formula to be free from others' words is be neither big nor small, just be real. But the mind says, how will this happen? The mind always wants a role, either be a king or a beggar. The mind does not like being simple. I tell you, what you are is enough. Nothing needs to be added or subtracted. But this sentence will remain empty until you experience it. Listen to a story. A man came to me and said, people don't give me respect. I asked, do you give yourself respect? He went silent. He who does not respect himself keeps asking for respect from the whole world, and he who begs is always insulted. Remember, respect is not obtained by asking. Respect flows from within. When you become peaceful with yourself, then no matter what people say, it cannot shake you. Now understand a very deep point. When someone says something to you and it hurts, a voice immediately rises inside. I am not like this. This is the ego. Ego always gives explanations. Truth does not need explanations. If someone says you are blind and you can see, would you argue? No, you will smile. Truth smiles. Falsehood fights. Therefore I say, wherever there is a fight, there is some untruth within. Your fight with others' words is a fight within yourself. Do a small experiment. Next time someone says something about you, do not answer immediately. Do not react immediately. Just see what is shaking inside me. If nothing shook, the matter ends. If something shook, understand that ego inferiority is still hidden there. This seeing is meditation, and meditation is liberation. Now I introduce you to the medicine which you have always underestimated, silence. You think, what does silence have to do with others' words? I say silence is the very door where others' words fall away. Look, a word clashes with a word, it tangles with a thought. But nothing clashes with silence. Silence is the sky. Words are clouds, and the sky is never wounded by clouds. Your problem is not what people say. Your problem is that you immediately start answering. This hurry to answer is proof of your insecurity. He who is secure does not answer. He remains present. The seventh formula for being free from others' words is, do not react immediately. Stay in silence. This is not a moral teaching. It is a scientific truth. When someone says something to you, energy rises within. If you speak at that very moment, that energy becomes words and then becomes regret. But if you stay in silence, that same energy becomes understanding. I have seen in my life, the more I lived in silence, the more the noise of the world moved away from me. The people were the same, the words were the same, but the effect ended. You ask, if I remain silent, people will think I am weak. This is your fear, not the truth. The truth is, the weak one is he who answers everything. The powerful one is he who can stand with himself even in silence. Imagine a scene, someone is speaking very loudly in front of you, accusations, criticism, bitterness, everything is raining down. And you are just listening calmly, without agreement, without opposition, only as a witness. See, in just a few moments, his voice will start to falter. Why? Because it did not find a clash. A quarrel takes two people. If one becomes silent, the quarrel commits suicide. I tell you a deep secret. People tell you exactly what they are unable to tell themselves. And when you remain silent, they hear their own voice for the first time. This is uncomfortable for them. Silence does not mean you are scared. Silence means you are awake. But remember, this silence should not be suppressed. Suppressed silence becomes a disease. Awakened silence becomes light. Therefore, while in silence, look within. Am I silent out of fear or out of understanding? If it is fear, work remains. If it is understanding, you are on the right path. Now, a small formula for this part. The day the need to explain yourself to yourself ends, the words of others will stop touching you, because understanding is not dependent on words. Now I introduce you to the fragrance that heals wounds without touching them. Compassion. Listen carefully, this is not a sermon, this is a matter of experience. You think, how can I have compassion for the one who is hurting me? I say, only the one who needs compassion hurts. He who is full within does not throw empty words. When someone insults you, the ordinary mind chooses two paths, either fight or suppress it within. Both are wrong. Fighting makes you harsh, suppression makes you sick. Compassion is the third way, and that is the middle path. The eighth formula for being free from others' words is, look at people with their pain, not with their words. As soon as this vision changes, everything changes. When someone speaks bitterly to you, see inside that this person is currently in pain. Just seeing this elevates you. You are no longer the victim, you become the witness. I have seen in my life when I saw an angry person not as an enemy, but as a sick person. The anger did not reach me, it fell right where it started. Compassion does not mean you endure everything. Compassion means you do not become hard inside. You can say no, but without poison. You can maintain distance, but without hatred. Remember, hatred binds, compassion sets free. The one you hate sits inside you. The one you have compassion for leaves you. Understand a very deep thing. When you are in compassion, others' words cannot touch your ego, because in compassion there is no ego. Look at a small scene. A person is trying to belittle you in front of you, and you are smiling inside, not at him, but at his condition. A sentence rises from within you. I wish you two could find peace. This is where liberation happens. Do not make this compassion a practice. In practice, artificiality comes in. Just see, behind every bitter word, a wounded heart is hidden. This seeing is compassion. Now remember, compassion also does not mean you let everyone come very close to you. Compassion and wisdom go together. You can have compassion for a snake, but while knowing its limits. Therefore, the final formula of this part, understand people but do not move from your center. He who understands also survives. Now I introduce you to the truth, which people often consider harsh, whereas it is only another name for compassion. Boundaries. Listen carefully. Boundaries are not walls. Boundaries are doors from where you decide whom to let in and whom to keep out. You think, if I make boundaries, people will call me selfish. I say, he who does not make boundaries either becomes a victim or an exploiter. There is no place in the middle. Look, others' words only hurt you when you have given them permission to enter. No one can forcibly enter your house if the door is closed, but you have kept your inner door always open, and then you complain that people trouble you. The ninth formula for being free from others' words is, make clear boundaries without guilt. Guilt is the weapon with which society controls you. Since childhood you were taught, don't say no, obey your elders, people will feel bad. And slowly you handed over your yes and no to others. Now your yes is a compulsion and your no is a fear. I say the person whose no is not clear, his yes is also false. And a false yes slowly kills the soul. Boundary means where you are not peaceful, you do not stay. Where there is no respect, you do not keep yourself. This is not cruelty, this is self-preservation. Understand a very subtle point. When you make a boundary, some people will be angry. Why? Because they were profiting from your open soul. Now they have seen their place. Do not fear anger. He who is angry with your boundary is not for your benefit. He who truly loves you will respect your boundary. I have seen people say, I am very good, that's why people hurt me. I say, you are not good, you are unclear. Goodness is clear, lack of clarity invites exploitation. Boundaries are made not by words but by energy. If there is clarity within, then understanding comes outside on its own. You don't need to explain every time. Now listen to an experiment. When someone says something that shakes you inside, do not argue immediately. Neither give an explanation nor level an accusation. Just say in a calm voice, I do not accept this. Just see how much power is in this sentence. This sentence is not aggressive, it is clear. And clarity is the greatest armor. One more deep thing, boundaries are not formed outside, they are formed inside first. If you are not decided within as to what you will accept and what you will not, no boundary can hold outside. Therefore, look within yourself every day. Which words hurt you again and again? That is where your boundary is weak. Shed light on that place. When the boundary becomes clear, others' words suddenly stop reaching you. They speak, but the words slip off from around you. Now hear one final truth of this part. A free person is not harsh, but he is also not available for everyone. He chooses, and choosing is a right of the soul. We are now standing almost at the door from where returning back is not possible. This part is decisive. Here it is not about technique, but about the change of the center itself. Until now, you saw reaction, comparison, ego, silence, compassion, boundaries, all were remedies. They were necessary, but a subtle bondage still remains. That bondage is living with others as a reference. As long as you take the measure of your life from others, the words of others will remain important. Therefore, now hear a deep formula before the end. The day you become the center of your own life, the words of others will move to the margins. Look, most people don't live by the question, who am I? They live by, what do people think of me? How is my image? What is being said about me? This is the biggest prison. I tell you clearly, image is a lie, existence is the truth. But the mind loves the image because the image is visible. Existence is invisible, and the mind is afraid of the invisible. When you live by image, every word shakes you because every word either decorates or breaks your image. But when you live by existence, words remain just words. Listen to an example. An actor is on stage. People are clapping. He is happy. The next day, those same people forget him. He breaks down. Why? Because he was not an actor. He was living in the applause. I ask you, are you also living in applause? If yes, then condemnation will fall just as heavily. The 10th and decisive formula for being free from others' words is change the center of your life from outside to inside. Now, how will this happen? Not by any method, not by any practice, but by a simple yet revolutionary understanding. Every night ask yourself, what did I do today that came from my truth? If the answer is nothing, then understand that today you lived in the expectations of others, and the day your day begins to flow from your truth, the words of others will automatically become irrelevant. Remember, do not fight with the words of others. Do not run away from the words of others. Just rise above them. Rising above is not ego. Rising above is descending into depth. A very subtle sign when you are in the right direction. People either misunderstand you or ignore you, and this is a good sign because the crowd always understands the average. Therefore, if people cannot understand you, do not be troubled. It is possible you have started understanding yourself for the first time. Now listen. Now I will not tell you anything new. Now I will only remind you of what you always knew but forgot. This final part is not of knowledge, it is of remembrance. In this entire journey, you saw that pain is not caused by words, pain is caused by identification. You saw that reaction binds you, the witness state frees you. You saw that comparison made you small, acceptance made you peaceful. You saw that ego and inferiority are two faces of the same coin. You saw that silence is a shield, compassion is medicine, and boundary is dignity. And finally, you saw that when the center comes inside, every voice outside loses its importance. Now, I am giving you only one formula of this entire journey. I am in my experience, not in others' opinions. That's it. If this sentence descends within you, then there would be nothing left to do. Look, others' words will always be there. Someone will praise, someone will criticize. This is the nature of the world. The problem is not the world. The problem is why you are standing in the middle. When someone says something to you, just see inside. Is this my truth or someone else's perception? If it is not your truth, what is the need to pick it up? And if it is your truth, then what is the fear in accepting it? A free person neither fights, nor explains, nor proves. He simply is. And in his being, there is such clarity that words cannot touch him. Now look at one final scene. You are standing on the bank of a river. People are throwing stones. Earlier you used to get into the water. The stones used to hit you. Now you are standing on the bank. Stones fall into the water. Waves rise and then everything is calm. You remain untouched. This is liberation. Liberation does not mean that people have changed. Liberation means that you have changed. Now I do not make you any promise. I do not make you take any vow. I just say this, next time someone says something to you and the old disturbance does not rise within you, then know that you are in the right direction, and the day no word can shake anything inside you, on that day you have arrived. Remember, others' words bind you as long as you are far from yourself. And the day you return to the home of yourself, on that day no word can make you homeless. I stop here because ahead there are no words, only silence, and all freedom is hidden right there.